Alright, I am not going to beat around the bush about this movie because I think I have just witnessed a near-perfect film. Steve McQueen directed this film, and to be honest, I never was a huge fan of his. I think that what he does so well is he's wonderful at creating basically a raw nerve depicted on screen. He's great at creating emotion that seems to spiral downward and just go completely out of control. Fantastic at that. But I always felt that he never had the depth behind it. I felt there was too much ambiguity and a lack of ideas. But with this movie, everything just fell into place perfectly. I felt like this is the perfect example of what happens when the right director has the perfect script, the perfect story, and the perfect actors, and greatness happens. This isn't a Hollywood melodrama like Gone with the Wind. It's not an operatic exploitation film like Django was. This movie is just slavery as it was. It's very realistic, and it's without judgment. It has compelling characters, and that's what sold it for me. 12 Years a Slave has a core and a center that seems to thread everything together, and it definitely has a clear narrative, even though it doesn't feel like it is in the traditional sense. It's almost like Italian neorealism. All the scenes feel very incidental, and it's not like there's not much climactic buildup. Things just happen, and they kind of take you back. They're kind of shocking in that way, but they're very bleak and true and simple in the way that they're set up. Chiwetel Ejiofor and this new young actress in the movie, I can't pronounce her name, I'm sorry, but they are just wonderful. I mean, you will be able to pronounce their names come Oscar season, I guarantee it, but their performances are just harrowing. It's like they keep getting knocked down over and over and over again, but yet this strength and this grace, and there's almost an elegance to the way that they perform, so they were just incredible. And then there's Michael Fassbender. You all know who, like, if you watch my channel regularly, you know how I feel about Michael Fassbender. I've said it once, I'll say it again. To me, he is the Brando of our generation, or the Robert De Niro. He is so intense on screen, no matter what he's playing, whether it's a good movie or a bad movie. There's just so much depth and complexity in his eyes and the way that he expresses himself. He can make a one-dimensional character seem like Hamlet. He's so good at that. That's when you know you've got a movie star. And I've said this before, if a movie star can look into a camera and it's intense and there's a lot going on there, and it's compelling, that is a movie star. Whereas you have somebody like Keanu Reeves, and when he stares into a camera, it looks like he's waiting for a bus. You can sense in the character of Edwin Epps the insecurity and the sadness behind his actions, and he uses the brutality as a slave owner to cover up that insecurity. And that's what makes him interesting. He's not just a one-dimensional character. He's very interesting, and so many of these characters are. All of them are interesting. McQueen in this movie likes to use some very long, drawn-out camera shots that don't really intrude on the actors at all or try to get you to feel something. It's just sitting back, kind of like a Stanley Kubrick, just showing you how things are, and it's almost very cold. But I don't know, I when they do long camera shots in movies, I oftentimes have a problem with it because it is so easy for them to look gimmicky. And it's so easy for people to just go like, wow, look how impressive I am. I can use this long take. It always draws attention to itself, in other words. But this one, for some reason, it doesn't. Everything works so well. And it doesn't come off as pretentious. Whereas in Shame, I remember that long jogging scene with Michael Fassbender where, he's just jogging and the camera just follows him. And I was like, okay, what are the ideas going on here? I mean, yes, there are some ideas, but not enough for me to really find it compelling. This one, complete opposite reaction. These camera shots, these images, and these scenes and these characters, there's a history and a narrative and so much going on behind it that, oh my God, you have to see it. It is so, so good. To me, honestly, I mean, maybe my opinion might change in the future, but there is not a hair out of place. Every little thing, the writing, the everything about it is just, it's perfection. I cannot think of something that is wrong with it. This is easily my favorite movie of the year so far. And so to the rest of the movies that are coming out this year, all I have to say is top that, because wow. Wow. Please follow me on Twitter if you would like. The link is below. Please let me know what you thought about the movie. You can comment, of course, in the comment section. And thank you for listening.